Welcome to the Sports Show. I'm Greg Davis, your link to the nether sports realm. And boy, is our show dynamite today. We've been having some budgeting issues, so this segment has been cut accordingly. However, I refuse to cave in and reduce my volume of information. That being said, away we go. San Jose loses to Dallas on Monday 1-0. Power play goal from Mike Modano sinks Sharks and their 5-game win streak. Now into the NBA. Sacramento defending champion Miami also tonight at 7:30 p.m. Sacramento's lost all games this December. That's 4. They play Golden State in a big NorCal showdown next Tuesday. Speaking of Golden State, they've also been victimized their last 4 games. Inactive until Saturday when they play a home game against the New Orleans Oklahoma Hornets. Never too late for baseball news. Giants and new manager Brian Bochy busy. Dave Roberts falls from San Diego. San Francisco loves their aging outfielders. He's 34. Also signed ex-Giant Rich Aurelia. Pedro Feliz gets 1-year deal. Golden Glover Benjamin Molina will be Giants backstop for the next 3 years. Now on to Gav Sports. Boys Hoops underway. Playing tournaments, Chabot College Tourney, December 15th through 17th. Next home game on the 21st against perennial football powerhouse, San Francisco City College. Speaking of Gav athletics, don your royal silver and crimson because we are football champions. Conference champs, baby. And for a little more in depth on that, we'll go to my interview with head coach John Lango. I'm Greg Davis, here in the office of Coach John Lango, head football coach of the Gavilan Football Rams. Thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we'd like to say, first of all, congratulations on bringing the league championship back to Gavilan. We're all very excited about that. So, tell us a little bit about the season. You guys started out kind of rough. You went 1-5 before your bye week. How difficult was it to maintain focus with your coaching staff and your players, and how did you accomplish that?
It was pretty difficult. I think the thing that hurt us early in the season was we were real young, and a lot of our student athletes didn't, I don't know if it's realize or understand the difference from high school football to college football. And what that did is kind of set us back a little bit. Intensity during practices, so on and so forth. And as we got going and we progressed during the season, they started to understand that, which made them better practice players, which made us better game players, so on and so forth.
Now, clearly after the bye, you guys were very strong. You went 3-1 in league, ended up tying for the league championship. But you guys were injured along the way, starting running back, starting quarterback. Tell us how you dealt with those injuries.
One of the things that we realized as we started going through the season as coaches is that our numbers were going to be low. So what we try to do is get extra guys ready in certain positions. Brad Sintos is a great example where all of a sudden Matt was down and one of our other players decided not to play anymore, so Brad steps in and has a great game against San Jose City. Same thing with Chase Graves, came against San Jose City, usually plays defense, moved him over the offensive side, got him ready for that week, and did an outstanding job for us.
Now, Will Kilday is another example of a player who had stepped in because of injury, and he looked kind of shaky early on in the season, but he ended up having a couple of great games down the stretch. Tell us about his development.
Well, what's interesting about Will, if you look at Will Kilday, he is a winner, period. He played for us in 2004. We were 6-4, and he took us to a bowl game that year.
Now, you have a very special player in Ellis Kraut, big number 12. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how he opened up the offense this year?
Well, athletically, I don't think there's too many guys that can cover him, period. He's a great football player. What he brings to our team is that guy that can make that play at the instant and break it off for a touchdown.
That's going to be about it for us. What do you think you guys are going to do next year? Can we get a prediction? Bowl game?
God.
Are we going to repeat as champions?
The only thing I could ask our guys to do is just do what we did this year. And what I mean by that, it's not so much, I think the winning will take care of itself. We talk a lot about character with our kids and how you're going to act. I mean, we ran into, you already mentioned it before, where guys quit and didn't want to play anymore because we weren't having a lot of success. All I ask is the kids that we have that come play football here at Gavilan College, give us that same effort that these last 32 kids gave us. That's all I ask, because I think everything else will take care of itself.
Okay, great.
That's it.
Once again, this is John Lango, head coach of the Coast Conference champion Gavilan Rams. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Special thanks to our crack reporting crew for bringing us that story. Now, on to other news. The last weekend was San Jose Holiday Parade, and I had the exclusive interviews of Joe Cardinale, the executive producer of the Holiday Parade, and Gene McFadden, who headed the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade for over 25 years. Here are those interviews. I'm Greg Davis, Gavilan Television, here in downtown San Jose at the Hilton on the eve of the 25th anniversary of the San Jose Holiday Parade, along with Joe Cardinale. Currently, you're the acting assistant director, and this is a 25-year-old parade. And how did it all get started? Where did your involvement start?
Well, it started actually more than 25 years ago. It started about 30 years ago with Christmas in the Park. And Christmas in the Park is in downtown San Jose, and it's a 2-acre park. It takes up Plaza de Cesar Chavez Park, and it's an animated Christmas scenes and trees. We have about 5,000 lights there. And Christmas in the Park started about 30 years ago, and we needed a opening ceremony. So our opening ceremony was always lighting the main tree, the main holiday tree for the season. And from that, we needed something, we wanted to make it a little bigger, and we started with an opening ceremony parade. So our opening ceremony parade was, we had a horse and buggy, and we had a band. We had the San Jose State Marching Band, and they walked around Plaza de Cesar Chavez once, and we had a little more people, so we actually walked around twice. So that was the first quote, opening ceremony. It wasn't really a parade because we didn't have a parade permit. And we couldn't get a parade permit because it would cost us too much money and we'd have to shut down streets. So we basically had one police car that would escort the carriage around with Santa in it, and that was the very beginning of the San Jose Holiday Parade. And 25 years later, now it's one of the top 25 parades in the country.
1989, let's take you back a couple years, the first snowstorm in the history of the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
What a chilly one that was.
Could you tell us a little bit about some memories about that one?
Well, the big new balloon that year was Bugs Bunny, and there was Bugs. And I was watching Bugs shift like this. So at that point, I said to Bill, Bill, run for help. Get the crew. And I'm standing there. I don't know what I think I'm going to do by myself. So I run over, and just about that time, Bugs Bunny, who's like lying on his back, starts to tip. And as he does, he's going up like this. And I grab a rope that's right there, right? Because I'm going to hold him down by myself, right, like a fool. And as Bugs goes up goes the rope, and up I go. Now you have to realize, Bugs is about 40 stories wide lying there. That means 4 stories. So when Bugs starts turning on his side, first I'm up 1 story, now I'm up 20 feet, now I'm up, and all of a sudden I go, oh my gosh. And I'm up there in the air holding on this rope, and I look and there's nobody except one guy walking by. And I say, help, help. And he looks up and he sees me and he says, hang on. And I thought, help is coming. With that, he whips out his camera and goes, I got you. Don't worry, I got you covered. Covered? And well, needless to say, I realized at that moment I had no choice but to let this rope burn down my hands.
Oh, no.
Get to the bottom, the crew came up, everything was saved. But I have been looking for that guy with that camera ever since.
We'll be sure to scour the internet tonight
That's
in case we can
it.
find those pictures.
But it was an amazing parade and some wonderful story that I love about that parade because, like all great parades, it's a cooperative effort.
So after those 2 interviews, I was all ready to get to bed. You know, we had the big parade the next day. I had to go cover that. Unfortunately, my staff, who, don't get me wrong, they're great people. I love working with them. I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for everybody behind the scenes. They made me stay awake and interview this one last person. So here she is, Miss Teen USA, Katie Blair. It must be a very exciting time for you. You just got crowned in August.
August 15th on NBC.
And where would that celebration take place?
It was held in Palm Springs, California, so I won here, and it was in the middle of summer, so it was scorching hot in the middle of the desert. Myself and 50 other girls that competed were there for about 2.5 weeks preparing and working on the production for the night of the live show.
So you're not originally from Montana?
No, I only lived in Montana for the last 2 years. I moved up there to live with my dad and get a little change of scenery. I grew up in Houston, Texas.
So you're used to the heat.
Love the heat. I'm not a big cold girl, so being in California in December is not a bad thing for me. I like it.
Okay. And you lived in Billings, Montana.
Billings, Montana.
Now that's the Magic City, correct?
The Magic City.
And so it obviously did a little magic for you, right?
It did. It helped me a lot. I mean, if I hadn't moved there, I would have never competed. You know, it was never anything that I had really had much desire to do. Of course, I'd love to, like any other little girl, would love to be Miss Teen USA one day, but never really wanted to take the steps to get there. So I just, on a whim, competed in that, and glad I did.
Wonderful. Now, you can't make a living out of being Miss Teen USA. We all would like you to. But
Yes.
So what are your goals now?
Well, before I was crowned, I planned on going to college at Louisiana State University, and I was torn between going to a four-year college and getting a business degree, or going to a two-year college and getting an art degree. So what I decided to do was go to LSU and get my bachelor's in marketing and advertising, and then get a minor in fashion design and art. So to go both directions, but I've taken a deferred year from LSU. I'm not going to school currently, just to focus on my responsibilities as Miss Teen USA, but I will continue to go to school after this, and I don't know if it'll be LSU or open up some more doors. I was given a $60,000 scholarship to the New York School of Film and Television in New York, so maybe I would pursue that a little bit.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so you're going to be a Bayou Bengal, you're going to be a Tiger, you're going to start your own fashion company, or what are you going to be doing with that?
My aspirations have changed a little bit, seeing having been exposed to some of the different things going on in the entertainment industry and stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to continue that direction, but I'll find out. I'll see. I do plan on doing something within the entertainment industry, whether it's putting clothes on people, designing the clothes, or wearing the clothes. Hopefully I'll continue that direction. So.
Awesome. Well, we don't want to keep you here too long. We know you have responsibilities.
Oh, thank you.
So we'll let you get out of here.
Well, thank you so much.
Katie Blair, Miss Teen USA. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Enjoy your stay.
Thanks.
Here's Gav TV's exclusive parade highlights. Here with Ed Batista. Ed, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Ed is executive director, of the holiday parade, which we just saw. Everybody, I noticed all the looks on their faces, they loved it this year. They loved it last year. How much are they going to love it next year?
Oh, you always want them to love it every year. And, the secret to that, I think, is keeping it fresh and entertaining, enjoyable for whole families to come out, so that, families, when they build traditions by coming out to events like this, it just perpetuates it year after year, so it becomes parents and children, and then parents, children, and grandchildren, and it just becomes a family tradition that the whole family can enjoy. How can we top that closing number? Wasn't that spectacular?
Santa Claus, incredible. The dancers, phenomenal. Are they going to be back next year? Are we going to have some new surprise? Why don't you give us a little inside info?
You know what? You're going to have to tune in next year to find that answer, but I can guarantee you it'll be fun, exciting, and enjoyable for the whole family.
And I guarantee we'll be there covering it.